Hey everybody, this is Eric. Welcome back to Bench or Stand Outfitters. As you can see, you might recognize this rifle. This is that Savage Axis 2 6.5 Creedmoor Pro that we've been working on for the last little bit. So I'm out here. I finally got it set up, got the scope leveled on, everything tweaked out to spec, the initial barrel clean, etc. And now I'm here just on the range. I'm here at the Daily Ranch. Just going to send a few down range. I'm going to begin to tweak the movement of the scope a little bit just to get it, make sure it's relatively on paper, you know, hopefully within 2 or 3 inches with this factory ammo. I'm really going to concentrate on that part of it after the initial first box. So I got 40 rounds. I'm going to, you know, do those initial 20 pretty quick. Try to get that barrel fouled and smoothed out a little bit, action broken in just a little bit, and then go ahead and dial on the second box. Not really worried about groups because this is not the load that we're going to shoot, but I'm just curious to what this whitetail Hornady will group on the second box. Not too worried about it on the first. Like I said, that's really for a break-in period. On the, again, the rounds 21 through 40, I'll really begin to tweak the scope just so when I do our load testing, our load development, that will be pretty close. We should be within a few inches at that point. So these are really first shots, brand new rifle. I've not had a round through it. So here's what we're shooting at 129 factory Hornady Whitetail. This rifle is 4 in the mag, 1 in the hole, so a total of 5 rounds you can carry hunting. Got 1 in the chamber, just loaded the mag of 4, and we're going to take our first 5 shots and see what kind of SDs and things we're getting. Again, not really important at this stage. I'm just kind of geeking out on numbers. It's not going to be nothing I don't anticipate. Now the SDs will be what they are, but like I said, this is not the ultimate load we're getting to. Just kind of, like I said, we're breaking in the rifle, and I thought I'd bring you along for the road. All right, so here's our first 20 shot evaluation of that Savage 6.5 Creedmoor. And once again, I'm not staking a lot on this, but I'll make a couple of quick points. So when I was, my very first shot, I was aiming, as I mentioned, there's 3 targets together. I was aiming in the center right here just to see where I'd land. So this was my first shot here. I made my adjustment, boom, came back to this target, made my adjustment. This is my second shot, and then excuse me, 3, 4, 5 in there. Then after that, I came in and made a group over here. So that was first 5 shots, second 5 shots here, they stayed pretty tight. Third 5 shots got a little wonky, had a flyer all the way down here. And my 5th shot, I was aiming right in here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think I got a flyer. It was the flyer down here. So when I looked at my numbers on my SDs, they are horrendous, absolutely horrendous, which I expected. But the point being is, if you're not a hand loader and you're going to be shooting at deer at 100 yards, all of those are dead deer. Even with this one coming this far down, that's only 1, 2, 3 inches down. You basically got an 8 to 10 inch vital zone that I like to shoot at, and to help mitigate my personal shooter error. So once again, I'm going to expect out of this gun, as I zoom in on this being a 1 inch square, I'm going to expect this gun, when I get done loading it, to be in the size of one of those squares. So not too worried about it now. This is break-in, but it's just fun to kind of geek out on. And I'm letting the gun cool. We're going to walk back and we're going to shoot an additional 10 rounds. Probably going to come down here and go to this one, and then go to that one and see if it tightens up a little bit as the gun breaks in. See what our SDs does, and our, you know, the whole composition of that. But the rifle's acting great. It's cycling fine. It's doing, in terms of how it's acting, it's doing what I expected to do. And honestly, this ammo is probably exceeding what I expected it to do. Just my experience with Hornady Whitetail. And Hornady, that's not a knock on you. It's a $30 box. I get it. All of these are dead deer. So there's not a complaint with me on that. I just expect more. Therefore, I hand load and use higher BC, different kind of bullets. And as I said, I want one of those little squares when we're all said and done. And hopefully I can give it to the client knowing that it's going to be shooting one of those little squares. All right, that's it. All right, everybody, we're back with this 6.5 Creedmoor Savage Axis 2 Pro. We're going to shoot our last 20 bullets of our 40 bullet break-in. I'm just going to make sure my silencer, or suppressor rather, we do call them silencers, but they don't make things silent. They just suppress, they do suppress the noise, do suppress the recoil. Understand suppressors are not cheap and they're not for everybody, but once you save up and you get one, you won't go back. So here's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, we're on shot 21 through 25 right now, and we're going to go ahead and do it like we did the first 20 shots. Kind of go through them regular fast. I'm gonna burn through 10, let it cool down, burn through 10 more. I just don't want to get the barrel obsessively hot. I'm gonna look at SDs and spreads and things like that. Even though it's not terribly important, I'm just geeking out. So these are not going to be hopefully what they're going to land at with custom loads, but it also gives you a good expectation from a consumer standpoint of what you can expect out of certain rounds of ammo. So what I did do is, I'd mentioned when I went downrange last time, I've changed my mind and I've moved over a set of targets to a 3-inch diameter target. The reason I did that, I'm hoping hoping everything will group inside that 3 inches. If I can do that with this ammo, I think that's about the best a person can expect, not being able to tune and hand load. And like I said, on an 8, 10, some might even say 12-inch vital zone of a deer, that deer is not going to care. It's going to die equally in that zone. I would argue maybe a tad bit slower, but you should still find them before the coyotes do. So, all right, enough yapping. By now you know I like yapping. We're going to get to shooting. Again, we're at 100 yards. I'm going for a 3-inch diameter target. I am loaded, 1 in the hole, 4 in the clip. This is going to be our 5th round of 5. And our last but not least, all right, let's go check it out and see what we did. All right, I'm gonna go a little wide zoom here. So as I told you, we moved over from here to here. Here was our first 5 shots. Had a couple of flyers there. Not too bad here. Kind of stayed all on the vertical. Here we had 2 big flyers. Let the barrel cool off. Shot our last 10 shots down here. Not too bad here. Had a flyer outside. And over here is looking really impressive as that gun's starting to tighten up. Look at those 4. But we got this little guy over here, which again, that's for me expected in that rifle, or I'm sorry, in that ammo. And if we're just looking at that best shot of the day, I don't know if my camera will zoom in there. We're still looking at about 2.5 inch, a little bit under 2.5 inches. Once again, on so if I, so that is within a 3-inch spread, which I was hoping to get. I was hoping to get them all inside, but I didn't. But very, very good potential with some very cheap ammo, hunting only ammo. So I think there's nothing but upside for this rifle. I'm excited to move to low development and see what she can do now that we got fired brass and all of that stuff. But all in all, what a great day at the range. What a great another segment for this rifle. It's priced great. It looks great. We set it up right. Man, I'm just excited. I'm excited to get to loading to really pull the potential out. I hope you're enjoying it so far. This is Eric with Bench or Stand Outfitters. Remember, be bold, but aim true.